Adolf Hitler has been dead for more than 70 years. At the end of World War II, the official story is he committed suicide in a Berlin bunker when he realized that he was not going to win the war. But what if, some way, somehow, Hitler was resurrected? How would our modern society react to Hitler returning? Would they love him? Would they hate him? Surely there is no way that our society would allow Hitler to gain power again. Or would they? Today, Life's Biggest Questions asks, what if Hitler came back to life? Hello and welcome back to Life's Biggest Questions, the channel that questions the impossible. I'm Charlotte Dobre, and if you're fascinated by World War II, hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell. If you want to connect with creatives behind Life's Biggest Questions, our social media accounts are posted in the description of this video. And make sure you stick around until the end, where we respond to users' comments. What if Hitler came back to life? Maybe you've never asked yourself that question because there's no way it would be possible with our current technological capabilities. So how would Hitler come back to life in the first place? Well, maybe a mad scientist did some sort of Frankensteiny experiment that resurrected Hitler. Maybe Hitler never died and was cryogenically frozen, only to be brought back to life in the modern day. After Hitler committed suicide, his body was burned. This led to some speculation as to whether or not Hitler could have escaped and lived out the rest of his life. In 2009, some of the remains were tested, and they belonged to a woman who was 40 years old or younger. Last time I checked, Hitler is not a woman. So it's entirely possible that Hitler did not pass away the way history has written it. But for the purposes of this video, let's not think about the specifics and dive right in. If Hitler came back to life, he would come back to a very different world, culturally speaking. Germany in the 1930s and 40s was a place that erected for prejudice and violence. Germany is very different now. Hitler would be shocked to find out that Jews had become essentially one of the most powerful groups of people in the United States. Poland still exists, and much of what he achieved during his time as the Führer has been erased. He would hate the current Chancellor of Germany, Angela Merkel. The rest of the world is very different too. Culturally, technologically, our world is very diverse now. It's likely Hitler would not approve of what our world has become if he returned to modern day. A film about Hitler waking up in modern day Berlin was one of the biggest movies in Germany in 2015. The film is called Look Who's Back. It's based on a novel by the same name by Timur Vermes, and it examines what would happen if Hitler returned to Germany in modern day. In Look Who's Back, Hitler magically reappears in a housing project in East Berlin, close to the infamous bunker where he took his own life. Hitler ends up meeting a TV producer, and he decides the best way to come to power is to become a TV personality. The film would document real-life interactions between the man playing Hitler and ordinary Germans. Of course, these ordinary Germans didn't think this man was actually Hitler. They thought he was a comedian or a method actor dressed up as Hitler. But Hitler would ask the people he met in public what their problems were and use them to his advantage. Things like the foreigners who are arriving from outside the country. What the filmmakers of Look Who's Back realize is how easily ordinary people would tell a man dressed as Hitler their issues. In one scene, Hitler persuades a group of soccer fans to attack someone making anti-German comments. According to the filmmakers, it was extremely easy to convince the soccer fans to beat up the person making anti-German comments. Hitler then appears on a TV show called Whoa Dude, where he goes off script in order to broadcast his views. The video of his rants do extremely well on YouTube, and Hitler becomes a celebrity. You might think that in this day and age, there's no way history would repeat itself. We live in a far different society than that of Nazi Germany. We must have learned from the horrible atrocities committed by Hitler. But as we have seen with the film Look Who's Back, it's entirely possible to provoke people, and possibly the masses, to do something horrible by playing on their fears. According to one review of the film, it was as if Hitler never really left. Maybe Hitler wouldn't be able to commit mass genocide in this day and age, but it's entirely possible that he could rise to power, especially with regards to today's political climate. There are far-right neo-Nazi movements that have gained traction in both the United States and in Europe who could be looking for a leader like Hitler. But then things could also go an entirely different way. If Hitler came back to life and the world found out about it, he could finally be brought to justice. In most places, however, capital punishment has been abolished. In Germany, the current constitution forbids capital punishment. For this reason, it's likely that Hitler would be sent to a maximum security prison for life. Of course, if Hitler came back to life, everyone is probably going to be wondering how that could be possible in the first place. The person who brought him back to life would also be brought to justice as well, as they likely violated ethics laws in doing so. And then the technology to resurrect people would now be available. But maybe that's a topic for another Life's Biggest Questions. But as always, the discussion doesn't end here. I open the question to you, dear subscribers. What do you think would happen if Hitler came back to life? For now, I'm going to respond to some of your past comments. These were from our million subscriber live stream post. NSA said, "This is actually very good. You sound surprised. Are you really that surprised?" Jason Webb said, congratulations guys and dolls on 1 million. Wish nothing but the best for y'all. Oh wow, thank you so much for the support. Wishing nothing but the best for you too, Jason. Karel Tut said, really cool to see the people behind this channel. Some of you know us already from the other channels we host, but I'm glad you liked our live stream. Welcome to the end screen. This means the video is over. If you want to continue watching Life's Biggest Questions, check out the playlist that's clickable on your screen. And make sure you subscribe and turn on those notifications so I can see you in the next episode of Life's Biggest Questions.